So let's keep it 1,000. Last year, on this very podcast, I broke down how gamers have this habitual bully mentality where there's always got to be that one thing. It was Nintendo being doomed back in the day, and then after around, the Xbox One reveal, it became all about Xbox because the Wii and the DS would go on to do what it did, which is the thing that's never been done and probably never will be done again. In a single generation, a console manufacturer moved 250 million units of hardware, 250 million devices for people to play the games that they were outputting during that 6-7 year time frame. That was never done, probably will never be done again. But going back to the bully mentality, there's always gonna be one. And, well, sucks for Microsoft. They're the one. But it's okay because, well, they can take it. They can survive the constant lies, the constant nonsense, the constant hate from people who have no intention of actually ever even participating in what they're offering. They want nothing to do with their ecosystem, but yet somehow, some way, there's always content about Xbox on a Nintendo channel, on a PlayStation channel, on the channel of someone who likes everything but Xbox. They somehow find a way to speak on it all the time consistently. So let's keep it, again, 1,000. This is what actually happened. This is what actually happened. Nintendo moved 250 million units with the DS and the Wii. They moved an insane amount of software. The software and the legacy that, look, it all started a long time before that. But that was the one that cemented them like, yeah, when it comes to their first party, to what they do, they are unique, one of one. People looked at Nintendo completely different because they jumped away from the power conversation. And they went towards the, hey, look, let's do innovative gameplay, fun gameplay that nobody else is doing. Let's completely go in the opposite direction. That's a red ocean over there. We're going to find the blue ocean, clear waters where nobody is diluting it. And that's what they did with Touch Generation, where we would like to play and all of that. They did their thing. Again, 250 million units. Xbox was absolutely on fire that generation, from the impact of Gears of War to the Halo releases to the more Gears of War games to Forza becoming what it would become. You know what I'm saying? Like, there was just a lot going on, from Xbox Live evolution to online really becoming what you're seeing right now. Really, it got solidified in that 360 generation. Then you had all of the, what we call smart TV-like features now coming through our consoles. Xbox could stream Netflix directly. PlayStation would need a disc. The Wii would need a disc in order to activate the streaming aspects of those pieces of hardware. But everybody was doing their thing, right? And obviously PlayStation 3, that generation, they had their cell processor. They came out the gate shaky. They was wilding, telling people get second jobs, crazy expensive hardware, and they still find themselves. Why? Because, well, they leaned into the beginnings of what would be the beginning and end for what, it really was. This is the truth. There wasn't a first-party foothold on PlayStation 1. There wasn't a first-party foothold on PlayStation 2. I'm not trying to take nothing away from SOCOM or any other games that you love that the developers don't even exist at Sony anymore. And the IPs, the only time you're going to see them is them as little chibi characters in Astro Bot. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about Uncharted. I'm talking about Guerrilla becoming who they would become. Go on to make Horizon games. The PlayStation 3 was really the catalyst for everything that would happen in the PlayStation 4, and somehow they fumbled that atrociously, and we are 5 years into the PlayStation 5 now, and it's nowhere near first party, and there never will be. Never will be. Compared to PlayStation 4, let alone 3. You're not getting Uncharted 2, 3, Killzone 2, 3, Infamous, Resistance. You ain't getting none of that on PlayStation 5. This is just the reality. I'm just telling you what actually happened. But this was all good stuff for Sony, right? Because the PlayStation 4 would happen. And it would be their look, PlayStation 2 was one of one. I get it. For them. In the same way like that Wii DS era was one of one for Nintendo. I understand that. And it looks like when it comes to hardware, the 360 was one of one for Xbox. So what I'm getting at is this. Sony won. Nintendo would come out of that generation, that crucial, super important generation, the one that would lead to the next one where people would make their digital libraries. Understand, that's what the Wii generation was. It was that generation. Yeah, you had WiiWare. Yeah, you had Xbox Live Arcade and Xbox. Yeah, that's all good. It was the beginnings there, but it really kicked off on the next one with the Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and the Wii U for Nintendo respectively, even though that one didn't count either. It started really with them, with the Switch. That's where your stuff carried forward with you. So I'm saying this to say, again, listen, PlayStation 1, the console war, for all the fanboys who want to talk about console war, I don't understand why y'all not celebrating. I don't understand why y'all not gloating more. You won. Nintendo will come out of that generation and create the Wii U. There was no chance of 250 million happening again. Yes, their handheld thrived like it always thrived every time they missed. Their handheld always thrived. So what did they do? They got out. They evolved to stay in. But let's be clear. They got out. There's no two avenues, so there's no opportunity for 250 million again. Unless, by miracle, they move 250 million Switch 2s or 3s or whatever they do in the future. You get what I'm saying? They had two devices that were connecting with each other, software, were I'll say distant relative like, you know what I mean? But the IPs were the same. So Mario Kart grows on handheld DS, Mario Kart Wii grows over here and sells close to 40 million. You understand what I'm saying? So they didn't have that anymore. And they didn't attempt to do it again. They just shifted. They put everyone together, unified everything, and said, okay, we're going to make this one device. They could plug it to their TV so they could still get that, basically Game Boy player, Super Game Boy, style experience and call it a day. So when it comes to home console, what was the NES, what was the Super Nintendo, 64, GameCube, Wii U, it's nice to say that the Wii U, it lives on through the Switch, absolutely. But a body is a body, and we saw that body. 13 million, that's what it was. You get what I'm saying? So there's the facts on Nintendo. PlayStation 1, they're right now selling hardware like crazy. Not handheld hardware, not hybrid hardware, home console like the NES. You buy box, you buy game for box, you play game on set box, done. You're not getting Play Anywhere. You're not buying Uncharted 4 there and then getting it, on PC also. None of that's happening. Waldorf Garden, old world, old rules, those apply. Xbox, you already know. Series, yes. Does it do incredible for them? Absolutely. Game Pass, absolutely. We already know the facts. While people want to act, do. Again, there's always got to be the one. We know that's Xbox, so they're always going to be dumb. The same way when Nintendo was doing, people were always stupid about what anything Nintendo was saying, doing was. It always had to be questioned. I was there. I lived it. So I seen when basically the target moved. And that's what I talked about last year. And I'm just saying it now. PlayStation 1, they beat Xbox in that playing field also. Awesome. Yay. Celebrate. PlayStation 5 is currently selling in a manner that they can do the same thing. And just to be clear, so you don't think, oh, you just throwing shade at Look, they first party is trash. That's not an opinion. That is fact. If you're saying otherwise, bruh, I'm not playing games. I'm an adult speaking honestly. This is what it is. Their shit is trash. You know it. I know you. Look at your PlayStation 5 shelves and go look at your first party games. Garbage. That's it. No, I'm not saying that the games are garbage. I'm saying the output is absolutely trash. Worse than the Wii U. That's not an opinion. That is a fact. Let alone, I'm not even going to get into how Mario Kart alone outsold all of that shit. I'm not going to do that. Because if I did that, then it just hurts feelings. But these are the truths. New Super Mario, everything that came and still crushed. Look, I ain't going to even say the ports was blowing things out. Basically, last generation for Nintendo. But anyway, so Nintendo, now they got their Switch thing, right? They doing their thing. They over there. This is what everybody over there, they over there. They're doing their own thing. On Nintendo, they march at the beat of their own drum. They're over there. All right, fine, they're over there. But understand, over there, it's not 100% over here where PlayStation lives, in that console space. Yeah, PlayStation now, I'll chink at their console war armor. Did they lose a little bit? Nah, they just took hits. So in those hits and those scars, it's scabbed up. That's their games on PC. Nintendo had their situations too, and they put games on mobile. You get what I'm saying? Microsoft just realized who they were and was like, listen, we done got lit up. RoboCop. Nee, 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 nee. If you know, you know. So you know who got it the worst. I don't need to break that down no more. You know, I'm being real. Like, this is what happened. Nee, 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 nee. And it was Sony doing it while Nintendo was the dude in the back who just finished taking the piss, hitting the girl off the thing, saying, ha ha, laughing at it. This is what really happened. Only thing is that that's Alex Murphy. And now he gonna come back as RoboCop. And RoboCop means Steam, half human. That's all your PlayStation is, right? Because you're human in this scenario. Nee, 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 nee. I'm the cyborg now. You could do whatever you want, however you want, because now you RoboCop. You get what I'm saying? And that's the best way to put it. Microsoft done evolved into what they are now. And what they are now is truly an ecosystem that you can find almost anywhere that has a screen. And every week, every month, every year that's gone by for the last 5 years, that has become more and 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 more true. So again, PlayStation won the console war. So they won the war. Now they're there by themselves. Xbox is like, listen, we still gonna feed the console space. Y'all running the console space. So we gonna eat on your plate. And y'all not doing much there, so might as well take that whole front seat. We driving this shit now for the most part. So they there. They got their console still. They're continuing to do their console stills, but now their consoles are going to have far more value when it's like, yeah, you can access all these other storefronts. It don't just got to be an Xbox. It can be your Steam box. It can be your Epic box. It can be your good old games box. It could be your Battle.net. It's the place where you could play World of Warcraft. It's a PC-like experience. But the PC guys, you don't even got to go nowhere. We coming to you with this whole experience where all your thing is found in one place, where you'll be able to actually play in the future the stuff on console, meaning you probably won't even have to wait for Grand Theft Auto to come to Steam, to PC, when you can play through the Xbox ecosystem on a PC. That changes a whole lot. They doing their thing. They got 500 million active users. Whether you want to act like that's not a real number, that is the realest number. And that's why they're the tip of the iceberg now when it comes to conversation and gaming. Go look at Google Trends every single year for the last 5 years. Who was the number one most talked about video game company? Xbox. And it is why. Because of that bully mentality. They still want to go in on the one being the most innovative, the most revolutionary. And you could try to say, oh yeah, you know, having a handheld and putting an Xbox button on it doesn't make it revolutionary, doesn't. If you're not seeing the revolutionary aspect of what's going on right now, while you sitting there cheering another PlayStation 1, just stronger, because that's what PlayStation 5 is, with a digital storefront. No more. Period. You could talk about controls and, oh, I like the sense. Yeah, that's cute. You know what I'm saying is the truth. You could want to claim it's not. Facts are being spoken here right now. Child, sit down and listen. So they're still doing what they've been doing. Then you got Nintendo, who, when it comes to innovation, you're not going to sell me and sit there and tell me the mouse feature is super innovative. That's like telling me that the Labo feature, because the Labo is crazy innovative. No, the pointer actually going to the screen with a sensor bar, that was revolutionary. That was innovative. That affected almost 90% of the games that we played that generation. Facts or not facts? Can you say the same about a mouse feature? Again, 90% of these games already have mouse features on PC. That's been the case since before the analog stick. You're not going to try to gaslight me and to be like, revolutionary. That's not that. Is it cool that this device can do all these things? Absolutely. Would it be utilized like that? Absolutely not. You know it, and I know it. Again, even if it was, whatever game is utilizing it, it's probably because it was already being utilized elsewhere. Again, I'm not going to sit there and be like, yo, they're doing crazy revolutionary stuff. No, it's a standard controller. It splits, sure. But it's what it is. And you're getting standard control games. There's no Wii remote being introduced. They haven't introduced a new analog stick. They didn't add a revolutionary feature like the analog sticks, shoulder buttons. No, that's just, again, say it with me, facts. But they're doing their thing because their thing is a hybrid. They're over there doing, and they selling crazy games. They doing their thing, right? At least that was the case with the Switch 1. Switch 2, obviously, you know, the thing got to still sell more, and then you're going to start hearing stories about third parties. How it goes. Anything being talked about right now, Switch 2 third-party game sales, that's a moot point. Like, stop it. It's not even worth speaking on right now. Not yet. It's too early. But PlayStation won. PlayStation won the console. And yet now, when you look around, people are playing Xbox game on it, but that's not enough. They still got to go out their way to hate on Xbox. It's crazy to me because these are the guys, look, the biggest lies in the industry, we know who they are. Again, I'm only speaking facts. PlayStation fans. They've been that since the Sega Genesis days. You notice, if you're a fan, you know true. You be like, yeah, we be capping like crazy. Don't lie. Like, we not playing games around here right now. We being dead serious. Dead serious. No opinions, just the facts right now. The biggest liars. The biggest ones. Y'all said motion controls was whacked, and motion controls was shown off with big enemy crab, and then y'all was like, cool. Y'all said the Wii remote was trash. Then when y'all got your little wand with the little balls on it, y'all was like, cool. Y'all said Xbox games suck, and then y'all got them games and y'all made them sell better than your own first party games. Is that not the facts? That is the fact. So again, you lied. You lied. You said backwards compatibility don't matter until when it was gonna then matter again. Oh no, it's gonna happen. Oh cool. But it wasn't cool when Xbox was doing it better than everybody. You get what I'm saying? Like, and still continues to do that better than everybody. We know, like, y'all always gonna lie for your favorite brand. And here's the thing. That's not exclusive to PlayStation, guys. Anybody who's hardcore Nintendo is going to feel some type of way of everything I just said, even though it's the truth. Everything I just said about PlayStation, the PlayStation guys are going to feel the type of way. And here's the saddest part. There's going to be Xbox guys who are going to feel a certain type of way because of what I'm saying. But here's the truth. This is the truth. PlayStation won. Now Xbox is doing their own thing. And what they're doing is bigger than what PlayStation is doing. And it's going to continue to become even bigger and bigger than what they're doing. It's bigger than what anybody else is doing because it's going into the path of where gamers are actually going and where gaming is actually growing. And while the other two ain't really with it, I mean, PlayStation is, we'll see how they feeling still when everybody's buying Xbox devices to play their games. But yeah, that's what it is right now. So Xbox is doing their thing. Nintendo's doing their thing. You've seen all the hype this year with Switch, all the talk about Switch this year. You've seen all the hype with everything Xbox has been doing, from the games that they've been dropping to the game of the year caliber games like Doom: The Dark Ages, Expedition 33, all coming through their service. You understand what I'm saying? Like, they're the topic, and yet the console winner now seems the smallest. They're the ones putting out Concords. They're the ones telling you we're going to only have one first-party game a year for the foreseeable future. They're the ones telling you that they're focused on trying to hit it out the park and make their own version of Fortnite. So they're going to keep trying. Even though they had a dozen games, those disappeared, and now they still going to keep trying. Other games are being greenlit. Wow. This is what's happening right now. So Nintendo got Donkey Kong about to come out. People wonder when Metroid is going to come out. Listen, I'm not taking nothing away from PlayStation. They just dropped Death Stranding 2. They got Ghost of Yotei coming out. Cool. And when most of your stuff is available everywhere else, a lot of people are just going to be like, yeah, I'll just wait for that and get it elsewhere, not in the Waldorf Garden. Because now I know that I can get Death Stranding on PC eventually or on Xbox eventually. I'll just wait. And that's what they're going to do. And that'll be the case probably even for Switch players when they be like, oh, yo, look, Death Stranding 1. Oh, snap, yeah, I'm just going to wait for 2. Right? Because they multi-plot. I mean, I'm just saying. PlayStation fans did that, right? Remember when, and this is the point I want to get to. Remember when PlayStation fans all had Beast PCs when Xbox was going to PC? Remember that? Remember, right? I need y'all bullies to remember this. This goes for all of y'all. This goes for Nintendo fans, PlayStation. I may be singling out PlayStation fans, but remember this. I'm talking about all of you dudes with the bully mentality who want nothing to do with Xbox but keep Xbox name in your mouth. Understand what I'm telling you. Remember when PlayStation guys all had Beast PCs? So they did not need an Xbox because they can get all their Xbox stuff on PC? Remember that, right? I remember that. I think everybody remembers that. Now, we all know that was a lie, hence they're buying the games in droves on PlayStation 5. They don't got Beast PCs. That's why they get so offended when their games go to PC. Their games. Their games. They're not my games. They're not your games. They're games of these corporations. But your first party games, the way you feel, because team sport, war, yeah, when they go to PC, it hurts. The Xbox guy been happening already so long. Well, at least the smart Xbox guy, the one who isn't just acting like he's bothered by seeing what's been happening already for 10 years continue to happen. And now on a bigger stage, like, listen, man, I've been getting games outside of the Xbox hardware platform since Ori and the Blind Forest, Gears of War 4, like Forza Horizon 3. I got all those games, things to play anywhere. Yeah, that's all well and good. on the Xbox. I got those games. But understand that this been happening. Been happening. But they said I could get a PC and I could play all the Xbox stuff. I don't need an Xbox. Wait, first you had a PC. Now you're saying I could just get a PC. You don't need an Xbox. So Xbox continues to grow in front of everybody's eyes. Everybody gets bothered. Oh, that TV, that LG TV, it's not an Xbox. The ad comes out, the marketing. This is an Xbox, your phone. This is an Xbox, your phone. You know what's crazy? When I last beat Doom Eternal, I did it through the cloud. I'm just saying. Now, I did do it on the Xbox system, Series S, but that could have easily been the TV. That could have easily been the Fire Stick. That could have easily been the PC, but I've already beaten that game on PC. I'm just saying. I also beat it on Switch also. I'm just saying. All right, so Doom, I played through the cloud and all of that. That was my Xbox game. I'm just saying. Game that I purchased, that I own. Even if it wasn't in Game Pass, many games that I own, I can play through the cloud. Because like Xbox has been saying, that is an Xbox. Those devices are Xboxes. But anyway, to actually drive this damn point home, it's funny how they didn't need Xbox to play Xbox games. They can just play it on their Beast PCs. Then that switched to they can just get a PC and play Xbox. Now, Xbox continues to evolve and they put their games on these handheld PCs that have been now, growing in the market. It is not crazy growth. These devices aren't competitors to Switch. I don't even know why people bring up Switch in comparison to these things that aren't even sold at your regular mom and pop store. But I guess, dummies are going to make dumb points. Anyway, these devices now are out there in the world. The handheld PCs exist, whether it's a ROG Ally, whether it's a Steam Deck, whatever. Immediately, the conversation turns into, that's not an Xbox. Oh, if you just put a Xbox button on it, that's not an Xbox. But you just spent the better half of a damn decade stating you don't need a box no more, an Xbox, because now this bigger box, this PC or laptop, can play those games. Hence, you don't need an Xbox because that's your Xbox now. That was the gotcha, right? That's what it was. Then it was, I can just get a PC because all the Xbox stuff is there. Why would I ever get an Xbox? You don't need an Xbox. Why would you get an Xbox? You don't need an Xbox. That's an Xbox. That was the argument. And then the handhelds came out. And it's like, no. Because now those are more accessible. The price points to those are only going to drop lower. And now Xbox leaned into and put an Xbox button on the new ROG and got a new OS and everything is there pretty. You're seeing all of the big Xbox hits sitting next to all of the released PC games, including PlayStation ones. PlayStation fans already had a problem with their games on PC. Now they really mad because now Xbox fans are like, wait, so the next Xbox you telling me? Yeah, that's what they telling you. Ooh, it stings. It shouldn't, but it does. It's weird. So, it's not an Xbox, they say. But it is an Xbox. You can't say it's not an Xbox after saying for so long that PC is basically Xbox. You don't need an Xbox console. Yeah. Basically everything they dropped this generation is available on that ROG. That's a fact. Every game, you can play everything. If you bought that like you just bought into a brand new ecosystem for the first time, that is a beautiful Xbox because you got everything there that you can play. And some people are like, well, there's not everything because you can't go all the way back yet. Grant that, not yet. All these things will come. You know what's on the other side, though, for most gamers? Just another system. On the other side, again, just another system. Just another hybrid, just another PlayStation 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Just another one of those. Where Xbox is like, yeah, gamers who already put mad bucks into their hobby, that is gaming, they don't even got to do nothing. They could just wait for the stuff to come, and eventually, if it's a new chip that they need, in order for it to be exactly one-to-one with the Xbox console, then that's what they'll go out and do because upgrades are always happening. But it's not going to be at the timetable of anyone else, but at the timetable of the gamers now. The power is in their hands, and they playing with it. Look, PlayStation won the console war. Microsoft jumped into a lot of blue water, and they continue to find more and more blue water. Nintendo's where they are. Some people feel like, oh, these things are diluting the water. Not yet. They're not in a mass consumption form factor. Let's just say that yet. But the inevitability of that, well, I just used the word inevitable. Look, they doing a lot, Microsoft. And a lot of people are bothered by this. They got to speak on this. Like, if you don't own an Xbox, you don't like Xbox, you think Game Pass sucks, why do you have to waste time doing 1,000 think pieces, every website, every YouTuber? Like, why do you have to do it? If it sucks, don't think about it. Don't worry about it. You got all the games on your winning platform, according to you. So why is it that still, when they're doing the innovative stuff that they're doing, when nobody else is innovating like them, y'all want to be mad, be bothered by it? Nah, man, like, sit there on the other side and enjoy all the things that you claim that you would love to see in the gaming world not be happening. You know, enjoy crazy amounts of DRM with no benefiting factors to it. Like, okay, I could put up with this and that and this and this and that if I bought it once and I got it 1,000 places. Like, make it enticing, but then it's just what it is on this side. Listen, you could do whatever you want to do, but it's just very telling when people spend so much time, so much power, so much willpower speaking on something that they don't like. If Xbox is dead, if Xbox sucks, look, if you were saying Xbox wasn't going to make another piece of hardware before the Xbox Series came out, all throughout, you know, when everybody was hating, and I'll even raise my hand. I had my hating moments too during that generation. Many reasons why. Many people did, right? During the Xbox One generation, right? You hated on it that whole time and was like, yeah, another console ain't going to come out. And then one came out, the Series. And you say, yeah, but this is going to be the last one. Oh, look at everything they're doing on PC. They ain't going to do another one. Now the other one is confirmed. It's announced. It's real. It's happening. And now the conversation, oh yeah, but I think that after that is going to be the last one. Here's the thing. If you were into episode 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, one of those early episodes of this very podcast, I'm on 470 something right now. If you went to that, you would see me basically saying the inevitable is that, yeah, with technology, we're not going to have the boxes no more. I don't walk around with a Walkman no more when I always did. Then a CD player. You know what I'm saying? I don't got a boombox radio where I put 5 disc changers no more with the giant speakers. You know, the silver joints with the 2 cassette tapes you could record and all that. Yeah, I don't got that. You want to know why? Because that shit was phased out. The box was phased out when the consumption to get to the actual software was made completely easier. The box became obsolete. If I could listen to Spotify on my smart TV, on my Xbox, or whatever, what the fuck do I need a radio for? You get what I'm saying? Like, for what? You got a surround sound system, that is your radio. That is your sound system in your crib. Like, that's what it is. Things got phased out. I remember I had the Sony surround sound 5.1 with the iPhone dock and all that. Not the iPhone, the iPod dock. You could dock your iPod, so anybody who came to the crib could just dock their iPod and, you know, manipulate their music through with the smart remote it has. And yeah, I don't got that shit plugged in no more. The surround sounds, yeah, but the actual iPod thing, no, because you know when was the last time I seen an iPod? Like 10 years ago, 15 years ago. Don't nobody got an iPod to dock on that. iPhones don't dock on that. That was just a thing for the time. You see, obsolete. That's exactly it. The box is going to become obsolete. So I don't understand saying, oh yeah, you know what's going to happen now? Yeah, cool. All right, they're going to stop making the boxes, but are they going to go away when their foothold in this shit is better than everybody's right now? When you could get their stuff on a PC, when you could get their stuff on a TV, when you could get their stuff on damn near goddamn toaster, handhelds and all that? What are we talking about here? Why y'all trying to make this scenario like they're going to go away? Why do they need to die? I know what it is. It's a bunch of you old farts who, you know, sat there and watched Sega get they fucking top knocked off, and y'all swear it's going to happen to literally the biggest monster that ever walked into this shit. It's crazy. And then it's crazy to think that the guys who own Call of Duty, World of Warcraft, Forza Horizon, amongst a bunch of other giant, massive IPs that you love. I mean, I see the sales on your favorite hardware that you love, and ones that you don't even know you love yet, but you'll be there on E-Day because you're going to be there for the Reloaded re-release of one, Gears. Like, bro, what are we talking about here? Y'all are fans sitting there like y'all want to see them die just for the thrill. Like, yo, gaming isn't a war zone. Gaming isn't supposed to be, oh, y'all want this company to get bodied and that company to get bodied. No. I don't care for Sony to, oh, yeah, go away and be obsolete. It's over for you. Like, what do I gain? Nothing. Because Sony doesn't really do anything right now for me outside of their ecosystem that affects me in any way. Other than when the positives. And they be like, oh, yeah, Spider-Man 2 is on PC now. Cool. When I'm done with Miles, I'll jump right on that. You get what I'm saying? Like, awesome. Oh, Last of Us 2 is on PC. Awesome. You know, you watch the show, now you don't got a PlayStation, you got the chance to play the damn thing. That's great. I'm like, what are they doing that's personally affecting me? People, oh, well, they were keeping games off Xbox and blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, cool. And when they were keeping those games off Xbox, you know what I was doing? I was playing other games because they got way more. What are we talking about here? Like, there's been nothing. Oh, yeah, but you know, Death Stranding came late. I mean, I could have been played it on my PC because I got it on PC, but yeah, because, you know, Epic gave that shit away. I'm just saying. It ain't that serious, but I get it. For some people, it's like, oh yeah, fear of missing out. That's a real thing. That's a real thing, and they psych themselves up with that. Like, it's crazy to me. It's absolutely weird to me. Like, yo, ain't nothing missing. Oh, Final Fantasy. I was like, listen, Final Fantasy is just waiting for the Nintendo announcement. Then it'll be announced for Xbox. That's a fact. Whatever. People can say whatever they want. I told y'all this like 3 years ago, 2 years ago. I said it's over. The deal before Phil Spencer was on stage, I was literally saying on my show, it's over. I'm telling y'all this. You could feel it in the room before anything was ever uttered. I was the one doing the utterance saying, bro, I'm telling y'all right now, this was going to happen. And my patron, y'all know, y'all could be in the comments right now saying he ain't lying. He literally been saying it ever since he said it over and over and over again. Final Fantasy 7 is going to get announced on Switch 2 and then bam, right on Xbox. And it literally happened. Bam, here's 16 on Xbox. To the T. You want to know why? Because anybody with a brain can see exactly what's going on. And what's going on is PlayStation is doing great. In the old ways. But they by themselves there now. That may as well be a blue ocean. It's not, though. But it may as well be. I'm not saying that they got a monopoly in that space. No, because the Switch still plugs into the TV. No, because the Xbox still exists. And contrary to popular belief, you know, oh, there's only like 20 million of those sold, 30 million of those sold. Y'all number fluctuate every day. 50 one day, da da da. Here's the point. Game Pass is generating billions upon billions every single year. Xbox isn't some separate thing from Microsoft. So Microsoft money is Xbox money. You turn on a PC right now, you press certain buttons, Windows button, press G, what pops up? A whole Xbox OS basically. It's there automatically, living rent free, whether you use it or not on your PC. And that's just more and more and more and more what's going to happen. It's just going to be on the forefront of so many devices because they're getting in front of so many things. Now, granted, you could say, oh, they behind a little bit of Steam and da-da-da. Yeah, but the architecture, the foothold, the money that they got, they could blow past whatever they've done instantly. And it's going to be like that when you make it the home console, which is the old school way for many gamers. Yeah, they'll go to that in droves. And I can access Steam and I can access all the other storefronts. Great. The PC guys gonna be winning. The same ones who didn't have to go out. Like, you know what makes me laugh too? Is like, oh yeah, look at the series S and X sales. Look, they're horrible. Look, after Xbox One, it's even worse. Like, this is really bad. Like, first, I want to kindly just tell you again, you shouldn't speak on shit that you have no intention of being genuine about. So kindly shut the fuck up. Nah, for real, because let's recap and wrap this up. You were just saying, you don't need an Xbox. You don't need an Xbox. You know, a lot of people genuinely took that to heart, right? And many PC gamers who did buy a PlayStation, a Nintendo console, and an Xbox so that they can get the best of all worlds of gaming. You know, the PC gamers, the ones who spend mad money on video games, they usually tend to spend mad money on video games, so have everything. Yeah, those guys were like, oh, I don't need that now because I can just invest now into even more expensive graphics card because now I'm not spending $500 for a PlayStation, $500 for a Nintendo, $500 for an Xbox. No, now I can take that one $500 from what would have went to an Xbox console and put that more into the next upgrade, and boom, now they got a stronger PC and they're playing their Xbox games there. Or do you think that that's a lie? Because I don't know if you noticed, but all the numbers for their games are higher now than they've been in every generation, in any generation. See what I'm saying? So again, it's the thing where y'all say stuff when y'all think y'all can use it at an advantage to make the thing seem small. Oh, I don't need an Xbox. I can get a PC. But then y'all don't want to live in the reality of the dumb shit you just said, because the shit you just said was true. You didn't need an Xbox. It is an option. It is a choice. It is an option, not an option to get a device that you got to then go out and buy a stand for and then buy an actual CD player for it so it could play your old games. No, no. Options, real ones, genuine ones that are good for you. You can go from cheap Series S to expensive Series X. You can go from a cheap PC to an expensive PC, and you can still get everything that you would want to play from these guys that they release this entire generation. So of course the number's gonna be less. I'm just saying this because look, man, a lot of things are always said about Xbox, but the truth is usually never ever spoken. So I just wanted to come on here real quick and just refresh people's minds about how ridiculous gamers sound, how lame it is that so many gamers hate to see anything that looks like a win for Xbox immediately. There has to be a thing piece immediately. They got to tell you why the thing that you hype about isn't what it is. Nah, Raw Gala, it's not an Xbox. It's not an Xbox. It's not a, like, you could say it a million times. It's only going to become more and more of a real Xbox console with all the backwards compatibility, because that's what they mean. But it's funny. These guys have nothing backwards compatible. But for them, it's so important. The same guys who were good when Jim Ryan was like, who wants to play that old shit? They was the ones capping on the internet saying, yeah, who wants to play that old shit? Remember that? I'll just keep my PlayStation 3. And you remember this? I remember. So yeah, I just wanted to be clear about that real quick. There's always going to be a lot of lies, but they mostly always going to be about Xbox. And that's sad. That's sad because I remember living through the Nintendo is doomed and having to come on here and be like, yo, what are they talking about? This, that, this, that, this, that, this, that. And that wasn't taken serious. I remember when I said, bro, their first party that they just came out with on the Wii U is insane, untouchable. And it's, oh no, look at what the Wii U sold. That shit didn't do nothing. It didn't do nothing. If it really was good, it would have, okay. And then what happened when the Encore came, when they all got re-released? New Super Mario Brothers U. How much is that? 20 million. I'm just saying, did this not happen? Is Tropical Freeze not damn near 10 million selling now? After it came out on Switch, Mario Kart, that is a Wii U game. It did what it did. Almost damn near 100 million sold. Was I lying? Or was that the truth? The Nintendo fans is not to spend the whole generation begging for Twilight Princess, Wind Waker HD. Those are games from there. Listen, and from every aspect, bro, the releases that they dropped on that generation were super important. Where's Xenoblade at right now versus what it was then? It's even bigger. What did that? X did that. Catapulted that thing even higher. Right? And that just came out. People were excited about it. Look, I'm just making the point that all the games that they re-released from the Wii U onto the Nintendo Switch were a catalyst for the Switch being what it was. And a lot of those were in year one. And Breath of the Wild is 100% a Wii U game. And that was the catalyst for why Nintendo's at exactly where they at right now. Just to be clear, even when it looked like I'm wrong, I'm going to end up right. Just to be clear. So, if in any way, I don't know how you can think anything I say here is wrong. Anything I say here is actually like some, oh my God. So, nah, I'm just telling you, listen, I'm just going to tell you the truth. This is exactly what happened. PlayStation won the console war. These dudes can't take their victory. Nah, they still want to make everything around them small. It's still got to, we the best. Bro, you get in Xbox games. What more is it? It's like, nah, we don't want them there. Get it? You a loser. Like, full blown. Like, imagine that. Imagine being like, I own a Nintendo and a PlayStation. Cool. Literally the worst fucking combo you could do. I get Nintendo and a PC. I get Nintendo and the Xbox, Nintendo and a PlayStation. Oh yeah, but I could get Xbox games here. And look, I get it. Some of y'all like to play one game a year. I get it, 2 games a year. That's the norm. I don't want to play 50 games a year. I got other things to do. We all got things to do. You know what I'm saying? Some people got women. Some people got children. Some people got a lot of things going on alongside other entertainment things pulling away from. There's a lot going on for many people. Don't change the fact that some people want to go from Doom to Expedition 33 to High on Life to Indiana Jones to all these other games. And then because they have all these other things that they enjoy, they would like to get that at an actual good fucking price. So they got more money to do other things. But somehow, some way, 80, 80, 80, 80, 80, 80, 80, and justifying 80, 80, 80, 80, 80 is the way of the real gamer, the way of the true guy. Because I want to own my... Yeah. It's a weird thing. And they love the ownership. They say as they buy completely locked away video games. I want to own my game and put them on a fucking shelf where you never gonna touch them versus me. All the games that I own across PC and Xbox things to play anywhere, I can just dab and jump into without having to dust off a goddamn disc. Not even the card. You thought I was blowing an NES card? Nah, bro. The disc, because the shit is dusty because it's just been there collecting dust. It's narrators, bro. A lot of narrators always uttered that people aren't willing to stand by. We've heard it all. We've seen it all. We've seen them kick, cry, scream. If Xbox gets Call of Duty, it's the end of PlayStation, said Sony themselves. And now it's kind of looking like, damn. Anyway, yeah, we saw the lies through that whole Activision ordeal. We saw the fanboys get pulled left and right. Oh, I want this. I want that. And don't get it twisted. I've been on this path the whole time. But there's been Xbox guys too who be like, I don't want my games over there. They better not go to play, because they was in that war. They were in it with PlayStation guys. They were really, and they still are, many who let themselves get tangled up real cute by these PlayStation dudes when nothing they saying is genuine. They're not being honest. They're always going to lie. There's going to be the videos popping up. Well, Xbox and AMD, this deal could be really bad for gaming. Like what? Every fucking console they got is AMD. What are you talking about? Oh, well, yeah, them putting out their stuff there is going to really dilute their games. And it's like, yeah, more people are playing them than ever, including on PlayStation. They're playing that shit more than anything. Oh, wait, I got another. Like, nah, you don't need another. Just shut the fuck up. Just stop. Just stop. Like, yo, you sold the most hardware this generation. You sold the most hardware last generation, and now you're getting Gears of War and Forza and the games that Gears for the Hill, trash. Well, now you're getting them, and you're playing them more than your favorite games. That's beautiful. Look, just stop lying now. It's done. Like you seeing dudes out here gray hair in their beards. Gray hair. Listen, I'm sure I'm heading that way soon too. I don't dye my shit. I'm just being clear. Gray hair in their beards. Talking about a million reasons why. This is why I don't really like Xbox and Game Pass, because you got to think about it. Sometimes when it rains and it storms, the clouds come over the sky. I'm like, what the fuck? And then sometimes the lightning bolt hit the ground. Electricity goes all the way from under the ground. Under the ground? Yeah, through, right? And it comes up the wall. Dude comes out like Static Shock. Like, what the fuck is this? And be like, yeah, no power. Now you can't play your shit. Damn. And remember that time that you didn't have internet? When? I don't know. When was the last time you didn't have internet? It was about 9 months ago. It was just that the lightning came down, and then yeah, I know. Well, yeah, that can happen again. Remember, it was 30 minutes. You had no internet. You felt like you were gonna die. That can happen again, and if it does in digital games, oh no. But wait, but the lightning, and it came through the house. The house burned down. All your physical games, they're gone. Damn. This is crazy, but it's okay. Buy them all again at a high price. Don't go digital. Don't use things like Game Pass. Why do you even use Netflix? Shouldn't you buy all your movies and have them on the shelf so you could be a real film fan? Spotify what? You better go out and buy yourself a cassette, a CD, a record, because ownership, bro. Don't you want to see it laid out all right there, all pretty in front of you, just collecting more and more and more dust? Like, this is just the reality, yo. I can't entertain this shit no more, bro. Like, I'm really fed up, completely done with the constant lies and the worry, and I'm worried about your own, bro. Worry about your one game a year. Worry about that. Don't worry about nothing else. Like, stop worrying about what is going on over here where the gamers really want to be at and play. Like, if you want to be on the other side where you play 3 games a year and I'm happy with that. I don't need no more. It's all about quality versus quantity. Oh, yeah, because of the quantity that I fucking played ain't better. Oh, no, nothing will touch just Donkey Kong Bonanza. All I need is that. That's cool if that's enough for you. And granted, look, amazing. I truly believe it could be one of the best games of the year. But that doesn't change the fact that that's one game. And yeah, I want to play a lot of games because I actually, truly like this medium. Enjoy this medium. Dare I say, love this medium. So yeah, 4 games aren't enough. Metroid Prime, Donkey Kong, and Ghost of Yotei is not enough. Nowhere near. And no, the quality of those games don't beat everything on Game Pass, everything that I'm going to play. It don't. You could feel like that. That's cute. But that's not the real world. The reality is more people are going to have more fun in Fortnite and Call of Duty and Roblox and Minecraft and all the ongoing games that are out there consuming people's time. You know what's real funny about that too? It be the same dudes talking about they could survive with 2, 3, 4 games on their little Waldorf gardens, who love to shit on these games that I just mentioned, these ongoing games that continue to evolve and add so much variety and fun to them. These dudes would be the ones sitting there the most hating on those games. And I'm starting to figure it out. Y'all just hate fun. Y'all see people having a good time in these other things. Oh, you should be playing a single player, story driven game. Like, yo, y'all a miserable bunch. You hate Xbox because, oh, look at all that good stuff they're doing for customers and all the games and all that. Yeah, mad about that. Mad at people playing Fortnite and Call of Duty. Oh, Call of Duty, same old crap every year. Like, you don't even play. You don't even know what you're talking about. You're just saying shit. And the same way you don't know about the Call of Duty ecosystem, the Fortnite ecosystem. I know shit about the Roblox, but that's the point. I ain't sitting there saying, "Oh, Roblox, stupid thing." Like, I don't participate. I can't talk shit. I can't. But I know one thing, that the ones that I do participate in and put a bunch of funds into, like Fortnite or Call of Duty or whatever is out there, that like I know that the game time, the addiction, the fun factor of it all, it's 100% justified because they are that good. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, there's a lot of dudes who just want to be that. It's just that. And it's crazy because there be dudes who be young too. It ain't just the ones with the gray in their beard. I ain't trying to single out people. Like, it be young ones too who be hating hard. Hey, and I'm like, damn, son, that's crazy. I mean, it'd be easy like that when you got mommy and daddy money to spend on $80 games over and over and over your whole life. So I get it. You know what I'm saying? I understand. I mean, I don't, but I do. I understand where it's like, it's a luxury to have that kind of mindset where you're like, yeah, I could match Game Pass. They already put over $10,000 into Game Pass worth of games this year, right? I don't know in what world is spending 200, which again, you don't have to spend that exact amount. But if people want to go, let's go to market value, fine, because y'all don't know how to do deals. I know it's like, yeah, if you got to download drivers and things like that, but you knew how to just update Doom when you played it, right? You knew how to do that update for Fortnite. You know how to update your phone. You know how to get games off the Play Store. Wait, I know old women who know how to do this. But asking someone to get a PC-like console in the future, and God forbid you ask them to update a driver, like, hilarious, bro. You think that's the issue that keeps console gamers from going to the PC side? I promise you it ain't. It's price point. And once they say, oh yeah, you could get a fucking full-blown PC, $800. That shit is also going to be your next Xbox. It's going to mean something. It's going to do something. But yeah, I'm going to need y'all to stop being, old dinosaurs. Look, if you do not like Xbox, stop yelling at the clouds. Like, stop yelling at xCloud, bro. Like, we don't care. We up here having fun. And the only thing that's going to happen is we going to trickle down on you. We going to rain on you. And then you going to be having fun. At the same time, you still yapping, talking shit. Massive shit. You like Expedition 33? Cool. It was successful. Cool. The bag that they got from Xbox, that's what helped make that game successful. Them promote that game. Them market that game. That's what gave them the funds to be able to move the way they was moving. That was a giant aspect of it, right? But some people act like Game Pass, it's free. Like, it's free for the console, man. It's like they do it. They get, they get fucking bullied into going in. No, just because you're a bully, that's not the way Game Pass works. Game Pass actually is a business. And Microsoft goes out and got people going out all day, every day at schools, conventions, everywhere, trying to find the best of the best. And I don't know if you noticed how many games that came through Game Pass already have gotten sequels, and then the sequel continues to go right into Game Pass. You know why? Because it's good. But yet these people will sit there and be like, you know what? I don't even understand how that's still sustainable. Well, if you don't understand at this point, then you're never going to understand. Just accept that you are maxed out on being able to fill in your brain with new information to make you understand the way Xbox is moving, the way their ecosystem works. It's better you just, I don't know, try to fix that issue instead of being the old man on your rocking chair yelling that back in my day, da da da, and just try to, I don't know, like, PlayStation fans is weird. Like, they be trying to manipulate things and people into thinking like, yeah, that thing that they doing that sounds absolutely fire, bro. Nah, don't worry. PlayStation gonna find a way to block their games. They're gonna find a way. Like, this is what they do. That's what they do. I can't. The shit is too goofy to me at this point. Like, I'm like, I got nothing left to add to this conversation. I'm going to let the goofy Xbox dudes who want to, live their whole life letting PlayStation dudes manipulate them into feeling like they got to defend Xbox, who literally got more players than PlayStation will ever see, ever. Like, I'm just not doing it no more. Like, it's just corny. So this was just me saying that, like, look, PlayStation won, and y'all still acting like losers. They won. And yet they still feel like the biggest loser in the room. They making mad money. They always number one in NPD. But yet it's their fan base who feels the need to be shitting on supposedly the third place guy. It's crazy. But winners don't move like that. Anybody who I ever seen win, they not looking back trying to throw, bricks on the way up. This shit ain't Mario Kart. They ain't throwing bananas back. They usually too excited about the elevation that they ain't even looking back. The haters could be talking. They still doing what they doing. And that's it. You know what I'm saying? So that's what it is. They just gonna keep talking. They just gonna keep hating. Keep on doing that. Xbox is gonna keep on winning. Keep on making moves. Keep on making video games consumption super unique and far more inviting to customers than just having one way in, and that's spending $1,000 basically to get in. That's basically what it is now on PlayStation and Nintendo side. It's like, yeah, hopefully you got about $1,000 baby to get in here, because you're gonna need to get the thing, and then you need to buy games, and then you might need memory, and then you might need a actual real controller, and you might there's a lot going on. But yet these things aren't really talked about. And if you are talking about it, then it's taboo and you're a hater or da da da. No, I'm just speaking the truth. But yet there's a lot of shit that these dudes could be hating on that's genuine stuff in their own goddamn backyard. But yet they want to leave their backyard, shit in somebody else's backyard who's mad clean and nice and pretty. Everybody having fun. You want to come to this party and be like, why y'all having fun? Be miserable. Y'all miserable. But anyway, that's it, man. I'll see y'all on the next stream when I'm playing some video games, talking about the video games that I'm playing. And yeah, that's it. I'm out. I'm done. Until the next one. Peace.